guys, welcome back to this week's episode of What's on Your Mind with Josh Kozuch. So last week I shared with you all a story about an ex-coach of mine who once said, don't strike out in this situation here. And I had a few questions from some of you asking, Josh, well, what should he have said there? Or what would have been a better way to handle that? And I responded, but it got me thinking, what do I want to talk about for this week? And for this week, I want to talk about what makes a great leader. Now, before I really get into that discussion, I'd love for you guys to think about who's an example of a great leader that you've had, or maybe that you've read about or saw on TV, and what makes them a great leader. What I'd love for you guys to do is comment below once this video is over who that leader is and what makes them that way. Now, like I said, I wanted to talk about today what makes a great leader. If you would have asked me that question when I was younger, I would have probably said, a great leader is somebody who's able to get others to follow them. Okay, it's not entirely wrong, but what I've learned over the years is there's more to it than that. Yes, you want to get people to follow you, but what are you doing on top of that? So to me, there's a few steps. There's a few other things that go into it. And the first one is a great leader is able to create a safe environment. What do I mean by that? A great leader is able to create an environment, an atmosphere that people feel safe to either fail, share stories, share experiences, share thoughts, and not feel like they're being judged in a negative way. So what often happens at places of work or teams is that we don't want to fail. You don't want to look dumb. You don't want to put out a bad question. You don't want to be that person. A great leader realizes that. A great leader creates that safe environment, a learning environment where we can talk about failures. We can talk about what we learn from them. That's what great leaders are able to do. They create that safe environment. Something else a great leader is able to do is that they realize that actions speak louder than words. So for example, a great leader, if you set a time of, hey, we're gonna have a meeting at 8 o'clock, show up at 7:55, show up at 7:58. Great leaders don't say we're starting a meeting at 8 o'clock and then show up at 8:05. There's a small difference, but it's so big. Actions speak louder than words. Something else great leaders are able to recognize is that it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So for example, say you're in an office, and you're a leader there, and you notice somebody who's been struggling, they're sitting in their chair and they're just not getting the results that you want. So you can go up to them and you can say, well, what seems to be the problem here? Or you can approach it, walk up to that person, put your hand on their back and say, what seems to be the problem here? Same question, same exact words, but the tone was different. So it's not always about what you say, it's about how you say it. And the last thing that I really want to stress about what makes a great leader is that they're able to build relationships. And this really ties into the creating a safe environment part, but what do I mean by creating good relationships? Get to know your people. Get to know the people that are around you. Share your own vulnerabilities. Share your own success stories. Learn about their families. Learn about what makes them tick. When you do those things, when you create that strong relationship, I think that's really the most important thing to being a great leader. So thank you guys. Again, please comment below who's an example of a great leader that you've had and what makes them that way. And we'll see you back here next week.